Howdy folks, it's Clarissa with Trips and Trots. So today is February 17th and our last video was of Mike and I making chicken paprikash. So if you've never made it before and if you want to see how we did it, check it out. I thought today I was all over the place today. I wasn't sure I wanted to run, and then I was like, I should get in a run, and then I got home, got stuff done. I'm not in training mode right now. I have a 5K that's in the middle of March, and I'll focus on what I'm going to do with that and how I want to prepare for it soon. But I've been dealing with this arm issue for a while, and we can't get to the bottom of it. So I don't know. One of my friends thought, are you sure it's not because you're in that state of perimenopause and just things start creeping up on you? It could be. It very well could be. But, you know, it's only on one side. And I talk to a lot of people, and some say no, because you probably wouldn't just experience it on one side. You would have more all over generalized pain if it was hormonal, because your hormones do affect your nerves. So we've done the MRI. The MRI was basically not finding anything that could be related to the pain. Or if it is, it would be something that is going to eventually resolve itself on its own. But I've been dealing with the pain for over 4 months now. We're talking October. And so, yeah, November, 3 months, going on 4. And it's frustrating. So, and some days are worse than others. Yesterday, the pain was so bad, and it doesn't seem that any kind of anti-inflammatories like ibuprofen, we'll just use the generic term, ibuprofen or acetaminophen, it just doesn't touch it. I literally iced my arm yesterday between 20 and 30 minutes to try to get it to subside. And I did talk to my PCP. We're thinking it's not going to hurt anything to give it a try to see if it helps with the pain. So I am doing a prednisone pack that starts you out at a higher dose on the first day and weans you off, and it's a 5-day thing. So I started taking it yesterday after work, so I didn't start it in the morning, and my pain is still there. It's not as bad though, and it did say that it could take up to 2 days for you to feel the effects of the prednisone. So my next thing is, will it relieve it, and will it come back as soon as the prednisone's out of my system? I don't know. Also, the other thing that we're going to try to figure out what's going on is there has been an EMG ordered. Now, I'd have to look it up to remember exactly what an EMG is, but it is a test that is supposed to show you, or it's a test that will show if there's any kind of nerve damage or nerve constriction, if I'm using the right word. But another thing, I talk to a lot of people. I'm curious by nature, which is why I like to share things, and that's why I now have a YouTube channel. The people that I've talked to that have had EMGs done, unfortunately, they've had no success with their results either. Everything would show either normal, negative. We don't think there's anything wrong. So I do have that scheduled, and it's not until a while from now. I am on a wait list, so we'll see what happens. Or at least I think that I'm on a wait list. So we'll see what happens So we'll see what happens whenever that next test is ordered. The thing is, people said, well, what about your running? You know, could it be from your running? And It can be from running. You know, you're doing a lot of, you know, back and forth motion, and your shoulders are involved and your arms are involved with the constant motion and everything. But the thing of it is I've taken a break. I've literally put in maybe 2 miles total for the month of February, just trying to see if the running is agitating it. And to me, it doesn't seem like it's the case, because yes, my arm does flare up, but after running the marathon, it really didn't, you know, it wasn't like, oh my God, my arm, it hurts so bad. It just wasn't, it didn't feel that bad. But the motion that I make that gives me the most pain is whenever I'm reaching out and I straighten my arm. So this is more comfortable with me tucking it in and letting it hang down in a bent position instead of reaching. So anytime I reach for something, even getting into my purse sometime to pick things out of my purse hurts. Definitely like lifting up my coat off of the coat hanger, things like that. So it's everyday movements. Oh, and even sometimes writing with my pen is very painful. Today it was like not that bad, but you can still feel it. It's like it's not normal. And I'm really trying to get to the bottom of it. I don't know what's causing it. So, and if I squeeze this hand, I can feel in here is where it seems to be mostly affected, but it does radiate down to my fingers and up through my shoulder and into my neck, which is why, because of the hand weakness, they were thinking that it might be more of a cervical spine issue than maybe an ulnar nerve issue. I don't know, but obviously it's frustrating me, which is why I'm talking about it today. And this was not supposed to be the reason why I was talking. I am going to get a mild jog in. I'm going to do it on the treadmill. It was 52 degrees today. I had really no excuse not to go out there, except for the fact that, you know, I'm in kind of a deflated mood, my lack of ambition right now, and because I don't have anything that I have to be like, okay, you know, forget the pain, forget this, forget that. You're on a mission, you know, and you have to conquer this goal. I don't have anything really to worry about training. I'm already registered for a 5K and a 10K. Other than that, there's nothing in my books. But I will say that if I do not get into the New York City Marathon, which I do hope I do get into it, and I'll figure this arm situation out and everything will be great. I promise I'll do more strength training and I'll do more cross training this time, and I'll be so much faster. I'll be like super fast. But I would like to get into it, and if I get in, I will share that information with you to let you know that I made it to the New York City Marathon. If not, that's okay. I take a year off from marathon running. Do I come back to it? Maybe. Do I not? And I just stick to halves? We'll see. But definitely, if I'm not running the full marathon in 2026, so that would be actually 2 marathons in 1 year, which I've never done that before. It'll be marathon number 9. I think I'll just do a half for this year, because I haven't done a half this year yet. So I definitely need to get a half marathon in for 2026. It's just, you know, it's how the runner's brain thinks sometimes. But so I was going to show you some shoes today. Let me get them. I'm going to pause this so I'm not bending down and back up again. So I have them all in good reach. Okay. So I started running in guide 18 in, back it up. So I started running in guides whenever I was getting ready to complete my maybe 13th, 14th, 15th, somewhere around there, half marathon. It was after I had taken a break off of running for a while. 2019 was my last full marathon, and I ran that in a version of the New Balance 860. which I do have here, I believe. I'm going to bend down, even though I said I wasn't going to. I believe it was these. Check out these ancient babies. Almost positive I ran my last full marathon before 2026, so in 2019 in these. And this was my second pair. I had already replaced the original pair and was running in these for the second one. I don't know a lot about these. These are, like I said, 2019. They're old. And I never got rid of them. Look at all of that tread. But yeah, so that was New Balance 860. And then after I took some time off, I started researching different shoes. I started out running in the Saucony Stable, however you want to say it. So that was a long time ago. Super stable shoe. And I look at some old pictures of what it looked like and I was like, wow, look how far we have come in the running world. But I started out using the Guide 15. So here's the Guide 15. And I didn't get a lot of wear in these ones. I think because I was running in these and I might have had a different pair of the Guide 15s. But one thing that you'll notice in the Guide 15 is right here is they have this like this is so you don't pronate inward. I'm one of those unpopular runners that looks for the stability in their shoes, and a lot of marathoners are not a fan of stability shoes whenever it comes to this. So now we're jumping to, this is the Guide 16. I didn't run any marathons in this one. This is the tread on this compared to this. So, not too much different, really. I will say that this one is a little wider in here to the feel. But again, here you have that hard plastic plate in there. That is for the Guide 16. And I ran a lot in this version of a shoe, a lot of half marathons. So then I did a lot of my long distance training in the Guide 17s. And you'll notice that there is a big difference between this one and, here it is. They totally changed up the pattern on the bottom. And to me, it looks like they widened it out. Okay. So this is the 16. And then we went to the 17. And the 17 is my Steady Eddie. I started out with the Steady Eddies for the Guide 17. And this has been out for quite some time now because they are now coming out with the Guide 19. And this is the 17. But I love this shoe. I have had a lot of confidence in this shoe. The only time that I wasn't happy with the performance in this shoe, and it was just because it was super hot, super sweaty. I ran the Bird in Hand half marathon this past year in 2025, and they got so saturated with sweat. That was the only issue that I had, though. It was like I had ran through a tropical storm. It was that bad. So, but very confident in these shoes, and I've ran a lot of miles on these shoes, I feel. And I was getting up to possibly, maybe I got to 19 miles on this one, maybe 15, whenever I was training for the marathon. So, all right. Now I went from the Steady Eddie, which I called the Steady Eddie. This is my Steady Betty. Again, felt very confident in these. The other thing that I wanted to show you, darn it, is remember how I showed you this in the guide 16, that hard plate there? It looks like in the guide 17, that was eliminated with some kind of foam. Again, I'm sorry. I'm not a big nerd when it comes to what the quality and what the components of the shoe are. But I will say, yeah, that hard plate isn't in there anymore. And this is the inside of the shoe, but it looks like they just built it up with some kind of like firmer foam in there. So just wanted to show you that. So they eliminated that plate. That plate is not there anymore. And then in the guide 18, it is not there either anymore. And there's slight differences. See in these two, if you can see them, slight differences. This one does feel like it might, like the buildup on the inside was so built up on the foot that I felt like my foot, if I'll go like this, could even like go like this a little bit. So whenever I was running, I felt like I was squishing my pinky toes in a little, if that makes any sense. But whenever I got the guide 18s, it didn't seem like that happened anymore. So this by far right now, except for, we're talking Saucony brands. Not the Saucony brand. We're talking the Saucony shoes, running shoes. This has been my favorite. And I have to say that it was a last minute decision for me to use the Speed 4 instead. I made the right decision, but my foot was a little uncomfortable. The Speed 4's a little narrower. And I don't think that plate was doing me any help comfort-wise, just saying. But I used this as my recovery shoe to walk around in the parks after we had ran the full marathon on January 11th. So yeah, so this is my breakdown of the last Saucony that I own, which is the last Saucony guide that I own, which is the guide 18, and they are coming out with the 19. I don't know if they're available. Hey Mike, are they available yet? Do you know if the guide 19 is available yet? Or is it just they're doing their...
I don't think it's out yet.
Yeah.
But it's like super close.
Yeah, it's going to be out soon. So if you're one of those unpopular people that like to have stability and support, just so you know, I love the guides. But if you want something even more, then that's the guide Hurricane. No, if you want something even a little bit more for maybe a heavier runner, or if you're just looking for max cushion possibly, I think that's a term that people use. I think that the Hurricane falls in that category, but it also can be considered like a support stability shoe as well. And it doesn't feel too heavy or anything. And I really liked running in it so far, but obviously I've barely put any miles on it. I'm almost afraid to take it outside in all this yucky weather that we're having because they're so pretty and like sherbet colored. But I wanted to give you my breakdown of the Sauconys, and stay tuned because the Saucony 19 should be out soon, even though I'm holding the Hurricane right now. This is the Hurricane 25, and they're coming out with the Hurricane 26. Okay, so that was my little spiel on my favorite Sauconys. And these, again, were the ones that I ran the marathon in. And I can't believe I did it in these ones. Because now even feeling the shoe, it feels so much tinier than the guides in the Hurricane. It's just like it's so much narrower. Anyway, but it got me through, and yep, it worked out. Possibly I might try to do an Endorphin Pro half marathon. We'll see. I don't know. Lots of options, lots to shoes. I have to thank my husband for the shoe rotation because I just was a set it and forget it kind of girl. I'd get in a shoe and I'd just run in that the whole time. But now times have changed, And now I've got to get on my treadmill here and put that workout in that I've been not wanting to do. All right, see you guys later. Don't forget, we have some more fun things coming up before the end of the month. I didn't get a video in every day. I knew I was going to have a very hard time getting a video in every day. But then the day that I was having my hair appointment, I thought I'd do a little short. And I realized that I just was not, my attitude, I don't know if attitude, I was just in a down personality that day. And I was like, well, this is my hair. Maybe I'll just cut it all off. You know, it's just like, I was so dramatic. And I'm like, oh my gosh, nobody wants to see this. So wish me luck with my arm endeavors. I will be keeping you informed of what's going on with that. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe if you like what I'm talking about. We have some more fun things to do. Maybe I'll get out there with a nice road race this weekend. I think the weather's supposed to cooperate. I also got this like weird looking harness kind of gadget that I thought I'd try to run with it so I could be hands-free while I'm running. I don't know how that's going to work yet. I've pulled it out of the box and I've thought this is too much to deal with right now. We'll do it later. So thank you again, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody. Bye. Just keep jogging, just keep jogging, just keep jogging. Bye, everybody.